Paul said that you have many mentors, you have many, but you don't have many fathers.
Go ahead on and bring him in. That's a good time to bring on in hanging out with me today, and I thank the Most High for his labor and his time. Y'all just don't know. Got in the building with us today, Atlanta. My very own pastor. Yeah, that's right. Dr. Apostle William Brown in the building. Come on, make some noise for him. All right, doctor. Now, I talked about flipping that same question because, you know, you're a bishop because you walk in that office and you have been anointed for that office spiritually. But then, you know, in some circles, they say bishops got to have at least have established at least 2 churches, right? I mean, that's what some folks say.
Yeah.
But how has it been? Because these are your babies, right? These are your children, right? They are gifts, just like children are gifts. How has it been as a father spiritually, moving from your firstborn, Jacksonville, to your daughter, Atlanta, and then moving on to having other children in the ministry, as far as talking about different ministries across this country? How is it being a dad in that aspect?
I would say, and
Listen, Atlanta, he always takes his time and he's always methodical before he answers. I understand that. I know this. But yeah, you know, he got sons and daughters listening, so I may be asking a question that
no,
we shouldn't ask over the air.
No, it's not that. I mean, you good. I'm just carefully.
That's right.
Because everyone doesn't place themselves into the category of children within the ministry.
No, I'm talking about the actual. Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
That has to.
Yes, sir.
I don't believe in, because people are members of a congregation, that they're your children. Paul said that you have many mentors, you have many, but you don't have many fathers.
All right.
And Paul was very specific in acknowledging Timothy as his only true son.
All right.
So everyone doesn't place themselves under that. But for the sake of conversation, if we're talking about congregation planting,
yes, sir,
they would be considered children, in the sense, not the people, but the birthing of these assemblies.
Yes, sir. That's the artery behind the question from that angle.
Yeah, I just want to be clear for those who are listening.
Yes, sir.
I understood your question. Jacksonville would be the first, Atlanta, and then others would come, which is about 8 children now. But I would I would say I have a lot of gray hair that I didn't have 5 years ago.
All right.
And some people may talk about scientific reasons as to why you have gray hair. Others may view it as stress levels.
All right.
That's the common statement, but it has been just like children. It's just been just like natural children in the sense of having to, as I talked about Keenan and Trinity, that they're different in language. How I would handle Jacksonville, I wouldn't handle Atlanta. I wouldn't handle Ohio. I wouldn't handle Tennessee. I wouldn't do them all the same because all of your children aren't the same in personality. So it's been a ride. It's been fun. It's been loving. You know, I love all of the assemblies. I love all of the brothers and sisters that are a part of those congregations and things like that. To be honest with you, it wasn't a thought that, and I would say this like my children, none of our children, and my wife, she's watching, she can attest to this. People are like, why y'all kids are so spread out? You know, most people have they babies and they like 2 years apart, a year apart. Like, why y'all children so? It's because me and my wife never sat down with a plan and say, hey, you know what, we're going to have a baby today.
All right.
You know, we're going to have, no.
I don't think most people didn't do that.
I mean, some people.
And I said most people.
Some people plan their children, you know, but our children is like spread out, you know, like 7-8 years or something like that apart. And when JoJo popped up, you know, it's kind of the same thing with Boom. Had an idea, okay, Jacksonville was it. And then as time went on, it was like, oh man, you know, Atlanta, then birthing, and then all these others kind of just popped up, you know, in a sense. And I give credit to nobody but the Most High God for that.
Hallelujah.
But I would just say, man, it's been good. It's been a blessing. It's been a learning experience, just like natural children.
All right.
So I love it. You know, I love all the leaders and everyone that's a part of it, Elder. So that's kind of it in a nutshell that I would say.
All right.
On that.
I appreciate you answering that question. Now, do you sometimes find yourself spilling one over to the other one?
Like, what do you mean spilling over? Like,
maybe sometimes treating your kids as your spiritual kids, and then maybe sometimes treating your spiritual kids as if they're your own. Or there isn't a difference?
well,
You kind of get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that what I would say that you have great expectation for your natural children.
Right.
So for me, it's the same expectation. One is would be spiritual, the other one would be natural. But the expectation of them is all based out of love.
All right.
It's all based out of the potential that you know that they have. And so when you look at your natural children and look at the spiritual aspect of it, you know the potential that you have. And oftentimes your children naturally don't see the potential that they have in themselves. And sometimes they need that encouragement or that boost. Sometimes they need tough love. Wow. And it's the same thing in the spirit aspect. Sometimes you have to give tough love. It's not always you being there in the sense of answering or moving at every beck and call. Sometimes they have to learn from experiences that will help them grow. And sometimes responding every single time in a way and not giving tough love can also make them codependent and can also handicap them from allowing an experience to mature them.
Wow. So you really have to rely on the guidance of the Most High.
Yeah, man.
I mean, for real.
Yeah, with your natural children, same thing. You have to rely on the guidance of the Most High for even them. And that's kind of the difficult thing, because sometimes, you know, you want to help them, but sometimes the help can be a hindrance.
All right.
You know, so you have to have wisdom and know how to maneuver in that. Same thing with ministry. You have to have wisdom to know that one of your children, they can handle tough love.
All right.
The other one, it'll crumble them. It'll kill their self-esteem. So when you, in the spiritual aspect, when you have a situation, you don't approach each and every last person within that ministry. You have to know their personality and their temperament.
All right.
So how to approach them. Because one thing, you may want to issue tough love against this one, and it can destroy them and just totally take them away, out of what you're trying to do. The other one, if you don't give them tough love, they take advantage of that, and they continue to do other things, and they can infect other people.
Wow.
And then on the other hand, you want to show compassion to others because they need it in that moment. So trying to juggle all of this is what makes one a great or a good father in that sense, because you have to know and learn each and every last children or each and every last child that you have, and you approach them all differently, and you can't use one way on one against the other one in that way, because you're not trying to destroy them, you're trying to mature them.
That's right.
And so sometimes, just like our own children, we misinterpret the approach of the parent. It's the same thing in the spiritual sense. Spiritual children can misinterpret the approach of the parent and thinking that they're against them when they're not. They see the potential in them, and knowing that they're trying to give them an extra boost so they can see the same potential in themselves that you see in them.